Hey guys, it's Adrian over BHA here bringing you a new video. So the great folks over at Eufy Security have sent me over one of their 2K dual camera video doorbells today. We're going to take a look at this thing. It's pretty awesome. It has a camera that faces out forward for people that come to your door, as well as one that faces kind of downward towards the ground in front of your door, which would obviously pick up any packages that might be delivered. And of course, with the technology that's incorporated with the app and the doorbell itself, you can do some AI monitoring of packages and get notifications when those packages arrive. It is pretty awesome. So let's check it out. All right, so you may have already seen you can pick this thing up for about $260 on Eufy Security's website. But you can also pick it up on Amazon's website as well for about the same price. Now, if you don't need a battery-powered option, they do have the ability to get a wired connection only, and I think it's a little bit cheaper, probably around 200 bucks. So there's definitely an option for everybody. This thing looks pretty awesome, and I'm psyched to see what all we can do with it. Here we go.
All right, so let's do a quick run through of everything we're going to cover in this video. For starters, we will unbox the device. Once we do that, then we are ready to get the doorbell installed. Once we get it mounted outside, then we are ready to get it added into the Eufy Security app on my phone. After that, I will go over the config options available for the doorbell within the Eufy Security app. And lastly, I'll just kind of give you my final thoughts. So let's get started. Okay, so first things first, we are going to unbox the device. As always, Eufy does a great job of putting lots of information on the outside of the box. Showing all the doorbell capabilities, as well as everything that you get inside the box. So let's get this thing opened up. So right here on top, we have the doorbell itself. Now this is pretty solid. It's got a little weight to it. It's definitely not a cheaply made doorbell. Now, of course, there is the Home Base 2 module as well. Now, I already am using the Wi-Fi bridge at my house for some of the other Eufy products, so I'm not sure that I will be using the Home Base 2, but this is definitely an option, and it does include 16 gig of built-in storage for saving those camera feeds and stuff. All right, so we got mounting brackets as well as a wedge, so you can kind of get a different angle if you needed to. Depending on how your door and doorbell are set up, then you may want that wedge to kind of give you a better viewing angle. Let's see, power cord for the home base, an Ethernet cable to bring that home base online. Here we have the startup guide with all the instructions needed for getting this doorbell installed. We got mounting screws and even pigtails for those chime wires to make sure that you get plenty of length to get them connected to the new doorbell. The cool thing about this doorbell is even though it is battery powered, you can get it powered by the doorbell wires if they're available, and this will keep you from having to recharge the battery, so that's pretty nice. Now here is the USB charger for the battery, so if you do have to charge it, this is how you'll do that. But that's about it for the contents of the doorbell itself. But just to kind of go over the main specs here for the doorbell, it has 2 cameras on it, obviously. Front camera has a viewing area of 160 degrees, and the package camera, that's the one angled downward, has about 97 degrees worth of viewing, so that's pretty awesome. The front camera is 2K resolution, and the package camera is 1080p. So of course, with the AI support, we get package detection, human detection, waiting detection. Obviously your motion detection is there as well. This is a doorbell, so it does support the two-way audio, so you can talk to the person is able to talk back. This is not like some of the other doorbells where it's Bluetooth connection only and it has to have that bridge to do the Wi-Fi connection. This doorbell is Wi-Fi enabled, so it will connect directly to your Wi-Fi network. That's about it on the specs. So let's move on to the next step and we'll get this thing installed. All right, so I'm going to install this doorbell on my front door, and this is replacing a old Blink doorbell. I'm not a big fan of Blink doorbells. There are definitely some better ones out there on the market. So of course, first things first is to basically get the old doorbell removed, as you can kind of see here. Once that's done, we are ready to get the mount installed for the new doorbell. I'm going to be using the wedge as well to kind of get a better viewing angle, which you can kind of see here. After that, all we need to do is attach the wires and put the doorbell in place, just kind of like you see here at the very end. This thing was very easy to install. The setup did not take long at all. Let's move on to the next step, and we will get this thing added into the Eufy Security app on my phone. Okay, so getting it added to the Eufy Security app is pretty easy. We are basically going to hit the plus up in the corner here, and we are looking for the Video Doorbell Dual. And since this one does have the battery, we will select the battery version here. I already have a home defined in the app, so I can just go ahead and select my home here. Next thing it wants me to do is hold down the sync button on the doorbell for 2 seconds until we hear it beep. Now once we hear it beep, we will hit next, and then it is going to want us to scan a QR code to get this camera added into the app. Now it's trying to make a connection to the home base. Now remember, we're using the Eufy bridge that I already had installed instead of the home base, but it works pretty much the same way. In fact, I'll have a link up in the top here that goes through the video of installing that Wi-Fi bridge. All right, there it is, added successfully. Easy peasy. So this talks about charging the battery here. We will hit next, and this is what I want. Since I have a traditional wired doorbell, I want to use that to power the doorbell. So we're going to say yes here. It says depending on what type of doorbell you have, you would select that here. Mine is mechanical. Now it's going through the doorbell setup. But we've already done all that, so we'll just hit next here and kind of skip through all this. Now it's asking about adding family and guests. I'm going to go ahead and skip through that as well for right now. All right, there it is. If we click on it here, we can see it activate and show the cameras. There I am standing in front of the doorbell. Everything looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and move on to the next step, and we will go through all the options in the app. All right, let's see what all we got in the app. So right here on the main screen for the doorbell, you have the ability to record video, as well as talk to someone that's currently at the door, or maybe just listen as well. But if we hit the settings button in the top corner, then of course this is where we get all of the different options available to us. So as you can see, we can disable the doorbell altogether if we want. Under dual detection, this is where we will enable motion detection and package detection. You have the ability to set the sensitivity here. You can decide if you want human only or any motion at all. You also have the ability to enable loitering detection as well. You have the ability to create zones if you want for either cameras, so that's pretty cool. I like the AI technology that it's using with the self-learning. That is very awesome. It has a delivery guard feature that will play a sound if someone approaches a package on your doorstep. You can even schedule times for the package guarding as well. So if you enable uncollected package alerts, then you'll get notifications when you haven't picked up a package. I also like this package live check assistance, which will display the time the package was delivered as well, which is a pretty nice feature. You can modify the default view here under the dual cam. I kind of like the view we currently have, so I'm not going to change that. Under Power Manager, this is where we can modify what mode we want to best save on the battery. Now we are getting power from the doorbell chime, so we don't really have to worry about that here. This is another cool thing, utilizing the AI technology and self-learning. It can start learning familiar faces. That's kind of cool as well. Here we can create custom auto responses for people that ring the doorbell during the regular workday, when no one's home. So that's kind of a nice feature. Let's see, under video settings, we can change the video quality if we want, as well as remove the Eufy watermark. I'm going to leave all this the default for now. Kind of the same here in the audio settings. We can disable the audio recording if we want, but again, I'm going to leave all these settings the default for now. Here's another place to set up quick responses that we can send if we want to, when someone pushes the doorbell. Under notification, this is where we can decide what types of alerts we want to get. I'm happy with the current settings, so I'm going to leave these alone for now. Here are some different options for indoor chime. So you can disable the existing doorbell chime if we wanted to, as well as you have the Wi-Fi bridge play a chime as well. We can even hear Alexa play the chime if you link the Eufy app with Alexa, which is pretty cool. Under general, this is where we can change the name, get the basic information on the doorbell itself. We also have the ability to update the firmware here, or at least check for updating the firmware. But that's about it for the different options available to us within the Eufy app. So let's go ahead and move on to the last step, and I'll kind of go over my final thoughts. Okay, so my final thoughts. I really like this doorbell. It's probably one of my favorites that I've played around with so far. I've had several over the years. Between Blink, Doorbell, Skybell. I've tried different ones. I think Eufy does a pretty good job with their products, and their app seems to integrate well with all of them. I do realize the price on this doorbell is a little on the high end. But with it being 2K video on that main camera, and the fact that it even has two cameras, that second one for the package, makes it way better. If you're in the market for a good doorbell camera, then this is definitely one you're going to want to look at. They do have several other models out there, so if you aren't interested in this one, I bet you can find one that you'll like. I'll have the link for Eufy's website in the description below, so you definitely want to check it out for yourself.
As always, I want to thank everybody for donating to my Buy Me a Coffee link. Every little bit helps. If you haven't had a chance, head over to my spring merchandise page and check out all the Burns home automation merchandise. And if you're looking for the latest smart home gear, check out SMONet. I have a link in the description below to their website. You can see what deals they currently have running. If you're interested in buying and selling stock or maybe cryptocurrency, check out Robinhood. I'll have a link in the description below for that site as well. And if you sign up with that link, you and I both will get a free share of stock. It's a win-win for both of us. If you liked the video, please subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions or comments, hit me up in the comments below. As always, if there are any videos out there that you would like to see that I don't already have out there, let me know in the comments as well, and I'll see if I can't get something put together for you guys. Otherwise, I'll see you guys around.